Hello, everyone. Very good afternoon. A warm welcome from Team Pennywise. Namaste and welcome. Before we start the presentation, hope you all had a light lunch so that, all of you can stay sharp to stay safe, and outsmart these cyber frauds in your daily life, right? So today, we will be covering a multiple type of, cyber frauds we come across in our daily life, whether it is us or our known person, maybe friends, family, relatives. And also we will be covering all type of frauds, whatever we can cover, right? So a quick disclaimer before we proceed to our session. We at Pennywise, we are only the financial educators, right? Uh, we are not associated with any of the financial, service provider company, right? So, and if we take name of any of the, company, it is just a coincidence, just, to make you all aware of the content, or just for the example, right? So this was a small disclaimer from our side. We'll start with the session, and we'll see what we have planned for you for today's session. One second, guys. I'm getting a call. This guy is come continuously disturbing me. So I need to take this call. Allow me a minute, na. Hello.
Oh, hi, is this Mr. Gautam?
Yeah, speaking. Who's this?
Mr. Gautam, I'm calling from the security team of Citibank. We've detected a fraudulent transaction, a suspicious transaction of 49,800 from your account made just a few minutes ago, and that too to an e-wallet in Dubai. Can you confirm if this was you?
What? No, no, no. I didn't make any such transaction.
Sir, are you sure? I mean, we've just seen that. Okay, hold on, sir. I'm going to temporarily hold this transaction, but we need to verify the identity. And I'm just sending an OTP. Can you quickly share the OTP?
Yes, yes, yes.
Make it fast, sir. Make it fast.
Yeah. One second, one second. It's 674812.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We've secured your account now, sir. But you will be logged out of your account for the next 24 hours. You won't be able to do any net banking transaction. But you will receive a message from our side shortly. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. What? This 49. Hello? 49,800 is deducted from my account. Hello?
Well, Mr. Gautam, you've just been scammed.
Okay, so nice. So over to you, Akshat. I think Akshat will take over from here and explain you all what just happened with me, and any other type of cyber frauds we come across. So over to you, Akshat.
Thank you, Gautam, and thank you for being a sport there. I hope you all are able to see my... Perfect. Yes. So, folks, that is what just happened. Surya very well caught it. Gautam was just scammed, and you know what? I was the scamster. So now I am going to enjoy his 49,800 rupees that have come into my bank account. We just wanted all of you to be aware of this is what happens, when you all of a sudden get a call and you share your OTP, right? So yes, we've got to be very, very careful. Once again, a very thank you for having us here. We will make sure that, you find a lot of insights from this session. And I would love all of you to, keep sharing your thoughts, keep the chat going on, because we really, really want to learn from each and every one of you as to what are the kind of experiences that you've been facing on a day in and day out basis. Honestly, I think we've done a survey, and what we figured out that almost every single one of us have received one fraud call at least, right? Mind-boggling number. Correct. And that's why we wanted to, kind of do this session for all of you. Just look at those statistics there. FY 1920, 1,66,000 crore of fraud. 2021, 1,18,000, 2020, 21, 22, 45,000, 30,000, 36,000, and 21,000 for the first half of 25, 24, 25. And trust me, these are official numbers. For some reason, the unofficial numbers are not coming out. Maybe, the authorities do not want us to be really, really scared of what's going on. And maybe some numbers are, hidden for a certain reason. But these numbers, the actual numbers are far, far, far more than what these look like, right? So today's session, we're going to talk about some of the common types of online and cyber frauds that happen, and how can we, all of us, be very, very careful with, such scams that keep happening. We've kind of made a list of about 12 to 13 scams, and with each and every one of them, we will try to help you understand what that scam is kind of, and how do and what can we do in order to protect ourselves or safeguard ourselves from such scams, right from phishing, social engineering, UPI scams, technical support, investment crypto scams, business email compromises, SIM swap and OTP hijacking, romance and pig butchering scams, deep fake AI based, very, very recent and common ones, online shopping fraud, ransomware, so on and so forth, right? Tremendous amount of scams. So let's go deeper into each one of them and try and understand what it is and how can we be aware of them, right? So the first one, social engineering, right? And what really social engineering is pretty much exactly what I did right now with Gotham. It's an art of manipulating people into giving up confidential information, make them click on harmful links, download malware, reveal sensitive information, transfer money voluntarily, right from getting these phone calls to even getting some WhatsApp video calls these days. Sir, I'm calling from IGL, your bill is about to, or your connection is about to get disconnected, your bill is unpaid, I'm calling from so on and so forth of utility. And always all of these are high pressure, urgency, asking for sensitive data, making you panic and giving you hardly any time, right? Just like you saw, I was trying not to give even a second to Gotham to think what's going to happen with him, or whether he should be sharing his OTP or not. And that's what they do. They try to target human psychology, right? How do they reach out? They reach out via phone calls, SMSs, WhatsApp, email, in-person visits as well, claiming to be bank or police officials, so on and so forth, right? How do they identify? High pressure, urgency, posing as authority figures, asking for sensitive information. And what happens? People panic, they act quickly under stress, and by the time they realize, gone, money gone, right? And therefore it is very important for us to start identifying that most of the official channels, whether it's bank customer cares, whether it is any sort of customer care, or even our government or security officials, nobody will ever call you asking for an OTP. Now there are number of disclaimers that come up even while we are calling somebody as a caller tune, or even when we are listening into radio ads, so on and so forth. And everywhere all authorities have said not to give OTPs, and we need to kind of adhere to that. How do we avoid it? Always pause and verify via official contact details before sharing anything, right? In this example, if Gotham would have just paused for a minute and would have realized, hey, I don't think, and Citibank, if you remember, I did a small thing. I called Citibank. Citibank doesn't even have an operation here. Citibank operations have stopped in India. So all of us have to be careful in capturing the red flags. Citibank, Gotham, I don't know. Do you even have an account in Citibank? Maybe he didn't even hear that I was saying Citibank, because that's the amount of pressure the scamsters would do, right? And that's why it is very, very important for us to be careful and catch these red flags. So always stay calm and cross verify. And in no manner, under no circumstance, should you be sharing any OTPs, right? Real life examples: a crooks impersonating Mumbai cops and ED officials forced 75-year-old in Kolhapur to transfer 7.9 crore rupees. Crazy amount of money. 7.9 crore rupees. Can you guys even think about it? It's the lifetime savings, earnings of people, right? Next up, phishing. Very similar to what social engineering is, But phishing is also an act of getting passwords, OTPs, UPI pins, so on and so forth. Very similar. Trustworthy entities, bank, popular services like Paytm, Amazon, Google Pay, government agencies, they once again create that fear and urgency. And they ask you to click some random links, or send some verify the sender through the official links, right? So phishing, social engineering, pretty much on the same level. That's how they operate, usually through phone calls, trying to play with your psychology and therefore get access to your money, right? Leading from social engineering and phishing, something that all of these lead to is also known as account takeover activity or identity theft, right? Now, what really happens is during this phishing and social engineering, when they have access to your internal let's say OTPs or credentials, then a lot of time what happens is the next step to this. So this time what happened, the transaction ended as soon as Gautam shared the OTP and the money got deducted. But a lot of times what the scamsters would do is go another step. They would try to log in into your net banking, your email accounts, your social media accounts. Honestly, just last week, Pennywise's social media account got hacked. The reason was we did not change our passwords often, and we did not create really strong passwords. It was, some random words, 123 at the rate, so on and so forth. Bad, right? And therefore we had a phishing attack. We had somebody took over our account and kind of started posting really, really random, really, really vulgar videos, and asked people to click on a certain link. Thankfully, we had people who were on Instagram at that point of time, and they suddenly saw what was happening, and they were able to detect that it is something looking like a hacking activity, and they immediately informed us, and we were able to change our passwords and get hold of our account. Otherwise, this could actually have resulted in a really, really bad shape, right? So once again, they will call you through phishing, social engineering, or any leaked databases. They will in fact know anything and everything. So I recently just read about this on LinkedIn. There was a person who faced a similar sort of a fraud attempt, and the fraudsters actually knew the last transactions. I mean, he's getting a call right now, and they knew that the person has done a 300, 400, 500 rupee UPI transaction in the morning while he was in his way to office. And that's how they were able to access the data. Okay, now I know this would lead us to further discussions on how safe our data is, and how can we protect all of those things. We will certainly talk about it at the end of the session. But right now, the point that we're trying to convey, or the way that we're trying to structure this workshop, is to give you an understanding of the various sorts of scams and frauds that could happen with us, and then say what can we do in order to avoid all of those scams, right? So once again, as I said, your banking apps, UPI wallets, email accounts, social media, e-commerce platforms. Now, one thing that I've seen people do very often here is, whatever is your net banking password, we usually keep the same even for our social media, even for our normal e-commerce websites. A random, let me put it this way, right? Any XYZ e-commerce website, we just logged in and we kept, let's say, the password Akshat123. Now we are also keeping the same password for our banking apps. Now, one of the ways that all of this data leak happens is there are certain websites that are not very, very secure, right? Maybe you just ordered from a new company and they did not really have a lot of secure measures in place. What happened? You just created an account, used pretty much the same password, which was across all your other platforms, and that data got leaked because the website was not really strong with their with their data policy or with their security. That website's database got leaked. The scamsters got access to all of the passwords, and then they just randomly trying to access your other accounts using those passwords, right? And therefore they got in. So therefore, always keep separate passwords. Keep separate passwords, especially for your net banking, especially for the for all the money related accounts that you have. My suggestion would be to keep a separate and relatively stronger password, use a mix and match of a lot of keywords and characters, so on and so forth. And then further, keep separate passwords for all of these e-commerce and other, which are non-money related accounts, right? So that's what we've got to be very, very careful of. 3 loans, 10 lakhs on credit cards using an IIT Bombay's engineer's credentials, right? So what the scamsters actually did was, using the same account, they applied for loans. Okay, now I'll tell you. Sorry. Let me just take a step back and quickly tell you another thing that recently happened. Right? What happened was somebody. Sorry. Yeah. So what happened was, somebody actually recently went into their sorry, I was just telling something and I got distracted. So what I was talking about it, and see, this is what happens, right? And that's how the scamsters actually use our, our credentials, and, take advantage of such situations where we are not really monitoring our accounts well. Right. So yeah, I'll come back to the example. It just skipped from my mind. I'm so sorry about that. But I will come back to the example that I was taking some time back, right? Yes, now I remember. Sorry, I now I remember. So the example that I was quoting was, somebody took the credentials or the data of a particular person and they applied loans from their account, right? So they got access to their PAN card, to their email ID, to their phone number, and they actually applied for loans. As soon as the loan hit the bank account, they took the scamsters, since they had access to their bank account, quickly transferred the amount that they got the loan for, and from that account to another account. And the person who actually got scammed now has to pay EMIs. The person has been complaining that, boss, I did not take any loan, but there the banks say that here are all the proofs, you did take a loan from us, and see, we've credited your account with a loan, and that's it. Gone, money gone. So things like these actually happen, and therefore we've got to be, once again, very, very careful with the kind of passwords that we set, right? So the reasons why phishing and social engineering works so well is, relies on urgency, creates fear, and always offers some sort of a temptation, right? Quick question for all of you here. Tell me quickly, your stockbroker calls you and says your demat and trading account will be frozen unless you do your KYC by sharing an OTP. What should you do in such a situation? Give the OTP after verifying, hang up and call your bank directly, ask them to call back later, yell at them and hang up. Never share OTP. Perfect. Yes, absolutely right. Option B is the right answer. Glad that all of you got it. Somebody says option A, hey, don't do that. Never give OTP. Even after verifying, even after doing anything, never, ever, ever give OTP. Right? Okay, perfect. I hope you guys are having fun. Next up, we have something on the UPI mobile wallet and QR code scams. And for this, we thought something different in order to explain you this. So let me invite Palak Vasudev. She's one of our, I would say, fraud warriors, somebody who did face an issue some time back and today has graciously agreed to, help us understand what she went through. Palak, if you're on, if you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi
Share
Akshay.
your story.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'd like to take a moment and I would like to share a personal experience which happened back in August 2020. So something that deeply affected me and my family and had taught me how real and manipulative online fraud can be. So my father, he runs a medical store, and one evening around 6 p.m. he received a call and from a person who was claiming to be an army official. The caller, he urgently placed a large order for sanitizers and masks, about 50,000 rupees, basically for the army use. He said that the payment would be made through a special army portal and it will be as it is used for the official army transactions. And to gain our trust, he even shared what looked like an army card and an Aadhaar card. So initially, my father had asked him that make the payment in person whenever you come and pick up the order. But the caller, he insisted that army payments are only done through online, through their portal. So my father was very uncomfortable handling such a big transaction, and he called me for help. So when I came, I spoke to the person. He asked me to make a small test payment of rupees 1 using a QR code which he has shared to me. And that 1 rupee was indeed reversed, which falsely reassured me of the legitimacy. He then told me that the full 50,000 could not be paid in one go, and I'd have to first transfer 25,000 to him. So he promised that when I paid the 25,000 to him, it would be reversed immediately. So I sent the 25,000, but no money came back. He then insisted me that I had to transfer the another 25,000 in order to pay the full amount, and the full amount would then be reversed to me. At this point, you would not like, I was a stupid person because my mother was constantly calling me repeatedly saying that it sounds like a fraud. But on the other side, this person kept pressurizing me, calling non-stop, creating an urgency and saying they need to close the portal by 7 p.m. Under the pressure, I transferred the remaining 25,000. And that's when it really hit me that we had been scammed. So immediately we went and filed an FIR and approached the cybercrime. The police did inform us that several similar cases had been happening in the area around us. We did trace the account the money had gone to, but by the time we got there, it had been emptied and deactivated. We even identified the region where the fraud was operated from, but unfortunately, no further action could be taken, and the money was all gone. So, this experience was emotionally very exhausting and also financially very damaging. But most importantly, it showed me how convincing these fraudsters can be, using urgency, authority, and psychological manipulation to trap victims. I hope sharing this makes everyone a bit more cautious. If something feels off, don't ignore that instinct. Take a pause, cross verify, and never act under pressure because scammers know how to exploit it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Palak. Thank you so much for coming forward and sharing your story. And I'm sure a lot of people will be able to relate to it because not just you, but almost every one of us has received this call at one go or the other. And I would go ahead and say that you were not stupid. It was the era. These scams had just started happening, and that's when unfortunately, since it happened with people like you, the awareness around it started coming up, right? So
True.
I think you took a bullet for all of us. So I wish and I
A
hope
big bullet.
a big one, and I wish and I hope in some way we're able to kind of help you get your money back. But I think it will come back to you definitely in some way or the other, because as God says, all ill things, ill deeds do get their things back, right? So I'm sure it's going to come back to you in some way or the other, if not through those scamsters.
Definitely.
But yeah, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
this. And I think one of the key things that Palak mentioned was, pretending to be somebody. Most of them, this is what happens, right? They are impersonating an army person, an income tax department, a customer care, so on and so forth, right? And you look, we've just put up another slide here, and you see the kind of UPI IDs that they've started using. SBI Help at YBL. YBL stands for Yes Bank Limited. So how can SBI Help be available on YBL? Paytm Care at UPI. Rajiv.sinha.upi at OKSBI, right? So what they're trying to do is, and that too with Rajiv Mama as the person's basically impersonating one of your relatives, and that actually happens. That happens many times because what we've also started seeing is people would try using your relatives either through some recent social media post that you've made, or through some other ways that you've put out, and try to kind of reach out to you that Akshat beta, I'm sorry, but can you get me some money, can you lend me some money? I've actually got these messages, and I'm sure some of you might have as well, where one of our people have actually come back and asked us for sharing some money. So that's also one of the reasons why you've got to be very, very careful. Fake job, loan offers, reward offers, Telegram and WhatsApp giveaways, right? Please join this and we will come posing as a creator, as an influencer. Some of the very, very common ones, we'll actually cover that separately as well. But these are some of the common ways with which all of these UPI frauds, the QR frauds have been happening, right? So once again, please be very, very careful of how people actually are about to scam you. OLX, again, a very, very common one. I love what you've listed. I just see you have listed something. I really like it. I want to buy it and I'm not going to negotiate. I will give you the full money, but can you first do this? Can you first transfer some money? Because, I will have to verify my account and I'm from Army, from CBI, from XYZ, so that, you get that trust. So once again, be very careful with what happens when you come across such scams. Okay. Next up, we wanted to once again talk about something very, very common these days, a digital arrest that's happening. And to speak more to that, once again, I'd like to invite Mr. Rajesh Kheturpal, a great person. I've been having these conversations with him since a very long time, and he's also graciously agreed to share what happened with him. So sir, if you could unmute yourself or come up on camera, we could have you speak about it.
So my story, actually this happened on 11th of January last year in 2024. In the morning at about 11:30, I get a call from a supposedly area manager of FedEx from Bombay. And then, as usual, he speaks to me with total confidence and tells me that I had booked some consignment to Taiwan. This is the receiver's address. This is the content. And while the shipment was on its way out, it has been caught at the airport. And, now because the supporting document has your passport copy and your Aadhaar card, and the payment to us has been made by a credit card which was yours. There's the credit card number, etc., etc. So, you need to lodge. If it does it belong to you? No, I said no. I don't stay in Bombay. I stay in Delhi. So where's the question of coming to Bombay and sending it? So finally, this fellow says, okay, then we have for the good customers, we have a arrangement where we connect you to the cyber crime department and you can book your complaint with them. You can lodge FIR. And he gently connects me to some gentleman and some supposedly a police guy called Prakash Guntur. Picks up the call, and then he asks me questions, what is and how. So I keep narrating the same story what I told to earlier guy. And then he says, sir, I've heard you, I can understand, but unfortunately, what can we do? Lately, lot many such issues and cases have happened. So, and as this case is already there, so we can't help because from the airport, this case has been referred to us now. So we'll have to inquire a little more into it. But then you will have to wait for about half an hour, and after half an hour, our DIG or SP, DCP, Mr. Bal Singh Rajput, he'll come and then he'll again question you. So on my other phone, when I checked, that who's the DCP of cybercrime, I could see the name of the person was Bal Singh Rajput only. After making me wait for about, and then he says, "Okay, now you please shut down all your doors. Please lock the doors from inside, and don't allow anybody to come here because and we would." So this situation, and you are into the now continuous monitor. You will be continuously monitored by us. So see to it that you don't talk to anyone else. So I bolted my door, and then the gentleman called Bal Singh Rajput comes, and then I don't get to see him. But on my WhatsApp, I get 20, 30 messages and some photographs. where the original Bal Singh Rajput, who's the gentleman officiating, presently this position, his photograph comes and a lot of other things come, where they try to justify their actions. And then this Mr. Rajput comes and he starts inquiring about all my financial transactions, my history, how much shares you have, how much deposits you have, what are the source of your income, how many kids you have, how much your monthly intake of money, how do you spend that, etc., etc., where all have you invested. And I keep telling him, look, I don't have any hanky-panky business. Whatever is there, it's all hard-earned money. For the last 20, 30 years, I've been a regular SSC. I've been paying the regular taxes. So there's nothing to, be doubted about. But then he tries to tell me, no, we'll have to, confiscate this money. We'll have to block your bank account, etc., etc. And then he says, look, you please keep waiting. Whatever information you have given to us, let me do a back check with my confidential department. And then they speak to somebody, and that fellow says, okay, after 5 minutes, he comes back. He says, yes, the Aadhaar card and the passport number and telephone number of Mr. Khetrapal have been found being used in 3-4 locations in the country, in Lucknow, in Delhi, in Goa, and in Bombay. And using his documents, about $8.3 million worth of foreign remittances have also happened. And the gentleman who's using all these documents they gave some Muslim name. And they sent me some photograph also of that Muslim guy. They said there is a gentleman called Muhammad Nawab Islam Malik who's using all these documents in your name. And so then 3:30 he tells me, okay, did you sell your shares, whatever I've told you? I said, look, today I couldn't sell all. I could sell only about 7-8 lakh worth of share because the money, the market shuts down at 3:30. So whatever little bit of there, I'll have to use it. So that fellow got ragged, and then he started fighting me. Why didn't you sell? Why did you waste your time? You tried to so smart and this and that. No problem. Then you'll remain in the digital arrest, and tomorrow morning 10 o'clock again we'll take it up. After having in this heated discussion with me, finally he left it to that police wala called Prakash Guntur. And then Prakash said, sir, now I can't help it. My boss has told me, so we have to follow this. You please switch on your lights, keep your mobile on in the direction of your bed where you're going to sleep. Knock the door, ask your wife to give you dinner, remain inside. And even if you're going to the loo at night, please take the mobile with you so that you are always visible to us. So this kept happening whole night. It happened. I slept. But what I noted was that at about 8 o'clock in the evening on 11th July, this Prakash Guntur, he told me, sir, my duty is now, I'll be off at 8 o'clock. My replacement will come. As I have taken the entire briefing from you, so the incumbent may not be knowing all these details. Please don't question him anything. I said, I'm fine. So I thought it's a regular practice. Police guys, duty gets over, somebody else comes. At 4 o'clock in the morning, when I had to go to the loo, and I asked that fellow, okay, hello, constable or inspector. So that fellow was sleeping, though I was not able to see, but from the voice, I could realize he's sleeping. And when I asked him, can I go? He says, you can go. So then I realized, he's the same guy who was speaking to me last night at 8 o'clock. So how come he didn't go and he's still around? Next morning, again, so by next morning, I realized, look, this looks to be some scam. What they are trying to project actually is not conforming to the arrangements what normally government departments have. And my wife was overhearing in this entire conversation behind the door, and she could understand. Here, I think, as the earlier speaker, this girl was talking about her mother. So looks like these ladies have that extra, sense. They smell out Look, this looks to be some case of fraud. So my wife, next morning at 6:30, 7 o'clock, there's another door in my room, backside. There's a gallery. My wife came there, and while I was standing near the phone, she opened on her phone one article, and she tried to zoom it and then I tried to read it, and it was very similar case. Something had happened in Bangalore with somebody, and again it was done by some courier agency. Then I could realize, oh my God, what is there on the website, something very similar is happening with me. So that incident, plus this continuous corroboration that this Prakash hasn't, the duty hasn't changed, the same guy is there since yesterday afternoon. Then I realized, look, this looks to be a absolutely fraud case. And then I made up my mind that as soon as the bank opens, I will try and switch off the phone, go to the bank, and at least withdraw all the, the powers. Stop, put my account on the hold. And that's what I did. So in the morning, 9:30, when I told Prakash, look, Prakash, I have to go because something is very urgent. I can come back and connect with you after 2 hours. And that fellow said, no, you can't do this. I said, look, to hell with you now. And then I switched off my phone. I went to the bank, and then I, stopped put my account on hold. And that's how I was able to avoid this, unwanted situation. But that night was definitely a very stressful night. Now the thing is, in spite of I having the all white money, still I was worried when I try and find the reason. Then I realized, they psych you, and that's how you are not able to take the correct call. You get you feel when the authorities will come or the taxation guys will come, they will harass you. To avoid all that, you feel that it is let me try and make fool of this guy rather. So I think the big responsibility is on the part of the government. Look, if you see, these frauds are of the last 7-8 years old. These frauds were not happening 10-year, 12-year, 15-year-old. Very isolated cases were there. True. And all these type of the modern day digital frauds are, cropping up because the people in the system, the bureaucracy, the police. If you go to the police station, now let me tell you the funny part. When this whole thing I was able to avoid, I still thought as a good citizen I should go to the police and tell them what all I underwent, so that at least they are able to, going forward, they are able to take care that it doesn't happen. When I went there on their cybercrime in their cell, there were two constables who were sitting. And they were hearing my story. My wife had also accompanied me, and they were listening our story as if I am जैसे कोई मैं रामायण की कथा सुना रहा हूँ. And they said, then I said, would you like to take note of it? हम इसका इतना सारा लिख के लाए हैं. We have made a letter. Would you like to record this complaint? He said, no, sir. Had there been something with you, then probably we would have. We would have taken note of that, lodged your complaint. As nothing happened, So the question is, and imagine, see, the cyber crime department, a department where the crimes happen, which even educated guy is not able to understand prima facie, where a different level of intellect or intelligentsia and skill set is required. Those such important chairs are being manned by ordinary police walas who has come, God knows under what circumstances he has ended up being there. So you don't expect them really to sort these issues out. So government, only when the number of such cases increased, then government realized that we have to do. Had government started taking initiative 4, 5, 6 years back, this number wouldn't have come to the level of this lakhs of crore, what Akshat was telling. And this, whatever Akshat has given the figure, they are just tip of the iceberg. Because nobody, all along I have projected to everybody around me that I am one of the most intelligent guy. How can I go and tell, look, somebody came and made fool of me and I lost the 5 lakh, 10 lakh? I would never go and publicly try and put me into that situation of a shame. So I think the government should take proactive steps the way government is trying to handle now, possibly, where how they have empowered. The government has now empowered. They're telling, look, we don't send this information. We don't ask for OTP. Our officers don't ask. Why can't their government jolly well say, okay, look, our sales tax department will never call you. Our income tax department will never call you. Police will never call you. We don't have a system of calling up and trying to investigate the subject. If the public is empowered in that manner, then everybody will proactively try and shun such calls right from the moment you get a call. That is one. Secondly, look, now I'm retired. I'm 79-year-old guy. Still on an average, I get about 40 calls per day. All these, God knows who are these guys who are calling me. Though I've lately started, post that incident, I have stopped picking my call. And one or two bank accounts, whatever I have moved them to another new, a phone number. That phone number has only, that I use only for the bank purposes. I don't use that. My normal phone keeps getting some of the other, message. I keep getting. Other day I got a call. We are calling from a try, and then lady came online and she says, "In your name there are multiple."
There is a parcel. Yeah, I got this call as well.
Okay, then and see the system, the lacuna in the government system. While I used to work in Calcutta, a good 30-40 years back, I had applied for the PAN card. I stayed in Calcutta for 1 year. I never got that PAN card. Now somebody tells me, sir, in your name there are 2 PAN cards. What the hell can I do? Having stayed there in that city for 1 year and waited for the card, if that card bloody never came to me, and now if somebody else is using, don't blame me for that.
Yeah.
Similarly, I, in between, few years back, about 8-9 years back, I had promoted a sort of a small venture, which I had shut down in Lucknow. Now, about 3 months back, and I had given government securities for the GST and stuff like that. And after, following up and spending a lot of money, I was able to get that money back. The security of 25,000, what I had given, I could get back only 18, 19, rest all the department took or the advocate took. See the tragedy that about 4 months, 5 months back, I get a call from one of the lady from the department. कि मिस्टर खेत्रपाल, देयर इज आपका केस खुल गया है एंड आपके ऊपर जीएसटी की लायबिलिटी है. I said, what the hell are you talking? I bloody had shut down this company long back. Not only that, you guys have already returned me my security also. Now you are telling me that looks light has failed. Let me.
No problem, Ankit.
So I said, now you are trying it. So I think the government, if proactively does some, tom-tomming, at least proactively, if they try and discourage, half the things can be, So the girl before me, she gave some, advice that here I can't give because each one of us behaves, in a very typical way when it comes to us.
Yeah. But I think the major point is not to pick up calls that are, some random numbers.
Not to pick up calls. Or let me try and put in a very crude manner. I say, even if the IG police personally is calling, even if Yogi Adityanath is calling, government is not supposed to call me. As simple as that.
Simple, correct.
I should not be expecting any government official calling me for anything government.
Yeah, true.
So this government should clearly say, we will not call you. There are other ways we connect with you, and we'll connect with you through those authentic manner. Okay. And we should, so that I have absolutely clear understanding. Look, fearlessly, I can bloody tell anybody go to hell.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
No,
So
absolutely,
this is,
absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing this story. I think a lot of people will relate to it, and be careful after you've shared this story. So yeah, folks. I mean, that's digital arrest for you. Unfortunately, just to summarize, Uncle got a call, picked up that WhatsApp call, was forced by the police wala to stay on camera, leaked
yeah.
all of his savings, his equities, his money, wherever it was. Again,
Mm,
build that tremendous pressure. And as he
mm,
said, while all of us are thinking, ki, acha nahi, I have everything clear,
mm,
nothing of bad will happen with me.
mm.
These people have their own ways of manipulating you, right? So
Yes, yes, yes,
I think
yes.
I think that's what digital fraud is for you. Uncle, will just kind of in the interest of time, I'll just cover a couple of more slides that I have, and
Please,
then
please. I'm sorry. I'm done. Thank you. I'm done.
no, no,
Thank you,
absolutely.
brother.
And in
God.
the meanwhile, we'll come back to you if people have questions for you. We'll
Done.
certainly take.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay.
Thank you, thank you. So yes, folks, I think that was the main important part, right? When it comes to your, I hope Shiva, you guys are able to see my screen back.
Yes, Akshat.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So yes, that's exactly what I was trying to share, which is, digital arrest, which Uncle rightly mentioned, right? Why does it work so well? Fear of criminal record or arrest, belief in authority, sophistication of scams, social stigma, and targets are vulnerable section of the society like women and senior citizens living alone, right? So that's exactly what happened in the case of Uncle. Few examples for you. Real life, Mumbai's senior citizen doctor kept under total detention, loses 3 crore rupees, right? And things like this often happen. I know we are pretty much on the time, so I'll take quick few minutes to rush through some of the other slides that we have, and last 5 minutes we'll spend on how. What can you do if something now happens to you? What are those few helpline numbers or security officials numbers that you can actually access whenever something like this happens to you? But before I do that, just a couple of other important things that I wanted to share. So please stick around with me for another 10-15 minutes so that you can have the entire understanding of this subject, right? So investment crypto frauds, very similar. Put in 1,000 rupees, you'll get 1 lakh rupees. Put in 10,000, you'll get 10 crores. Join this Telegram group, join this WhatsApp group. And not to go too far, Gautam's relative faced something very, very similar. He lost almost 4 lakh rupees just because the scamsters lured him that his 4 will become 20 or 40, or I don't know what numbers that was. Gautam, if you want to
Yeah,
share.
he lost around 4 to 5 lakh on one of the Telegram channel, right? So the fraudster was asking money in tranches, like you give 25,000, and that amount kept on increasing, 25,
Increasing.
and then 50, and then 75, and
Yeah. And usually how this happens is they will first tell you drop in 100, you will get 200. So you get that amount actually.
yes, exactly, you
Then
get that
they
amount.
ask you to drop 1,000 and they return 2,000 back. And then sometimes they even give you a higher denomination, right? They'll tell you give us 5,000 and they'll give you 10,000 back. And then the next one, you're like, oh my God, my money is doubling. Let me put in 50,000 or let me put in 1 lakh. And that's it. Tata bye bye. After that, they've kind of blocked you. So yeah, I mean, few of the things that you can do is always verify they are SEBI registered investment advisors, avoid investing through unregulated platforms, right? So always research before investing and do not download any unnecessary apps, right? So these are some of the things you can obviously always do with it. Lured with cryptocurrency bait, CA duped of 1.93 crores. Can you believe that? A CA who's actually working on the finances day in and day out was also able to lose. So why these work well? 2x, 5x returns, social proof, fake reviews, screenshots, fake authority, fake urgency, polished website, and emotional bond, right? Many scam starts actually with a relationship first. They try to build a relationship with you, right? So once again, got to be really, really, really careful. Next up, deep fake and AI. Can you just figure out who that guy is? A random person playing tennis has been deep faked into Tom Cruise. How crazy that is, right? And yes, this is the latest modes that are happening, deep fake and AI based frauds, people replicating some known personalities and asking you to, kind of give money, give access, give OTPs, this, that. Let me show you something really real. Do you know who she is? Quickly on the chat, if anyone knows who she is. A pretty famous personality from the finance background. Anyone who knows who she is? She is Miss Monica Helen. No, not the ICICI Bank chairman. That was another person. She is Miss Monica Helen. She was the first personal finance journalist. Yes, yes. She was the first personal finance journalist in India back from 1990s. And just see what has happened to her video now. I'm going to open up a video for all of you. Let me know if you guys are able to see the... Shiva, are you guys able to hear the volume as well, sound as well?
Yeah, Akshat.
Yes.
Okay.
200 member. Hello everyone, I'm Monica Hallen. Today I will share my stock group for first 200 member for free. No fees, no membership requirement, no spam, just real guidance. Every day in the morning at 9 a.m., I'll update daily market updates, simple strategies with a success rate of up to 96.8%, and you can direct chat with me. Join now, it's free, and start growing your money together. Free stock group for...
My goodness, can you believe it? It actually feels as if she is speaking. The lip sync matches, everything matches. Just look at this once again, another one that I wanted to share with you guys.
100% free. Learn, grow, invest, 100% free. Want to learn how to invest smartly without paying anything? Join our free stock investment group today. Daily stock tips, expert insights, beginner-friendly advice, no fees ever. Whether you're new or experienced, we help you grow your portfolio smarter and faster.
So you saw that that's the amount of craziness that's happening, especially with people replicating other people. All I would do is, if Monica Helen tomorrow actually plans to put up something like this, I would simply go onto her LinkedIn profile and see if something like that actually exists. And most probably, she would have either marketed on her official channels or maybe have something like an alert where, it's clearly mentioned it's fake. See, she's actually put up post that her video is being circulated with fake signs. And that's what is important. Look at this, right? Stock Academy. So some random channels would come up, just like Monica Allen. You just talk about the influencers or the artists or the actors that you might be following, and those photos will start popping up on your screens as well, right? So therefore, please always go check from the authenticated sources if actually something like this happens. AI scam uses Narayan Murthy's deepfake, dupes 79-year-old woman of 35 lakh rupees. And let me go to the extent of telling you this. AI and deepfake has been really, really creating a menace. And tomorrow, if you get a video call from Akshat Shiva, forget Akshat Shiva. Even if you get a video call from your dad, from your mom, from your children, saying that, Papa, something has happened to me, Mama, please, please, please save me. That is also possible, right? So please develop a family code. We've created a family code for ourselves that, Mama, unless I don't say this word, you are not going to transfer any amount of money to anyone. Right? So things like these could happen, friends. Don't take it lightly. We always think, something will happen. Nothing can happen with me. I am smart. I am smart. But unfortunately, all of us have those vulnerabilities, which these scamsters are good enough to catch. Right? So we have to be very, very, very cautious whenever it comes about any money related matters. Right? Quick check. How do you know which one is right? Can you guys tell me the right email? So think about this thing, right? Think about this thing that all of you always know Shiva, right? I'm sure all of you get emails from Shiva. And you've been in a way, shiva.sharan@ethika.co.in. He sends us the mailers, he sends us the reminders to join these workshops, so on and so forth. Now just think tomorrow, if you get an email from Gautam.kumar@Ethica, and maybe that email has double I instead of a single I, or a double T instead of a single T. And he says that, we are creating this amazing new platform where all of you who've been attending our workshop successfully, if you've attended the last 5 workshops, you can attend this 6th workshop absolutely free, and not just free, you will get 10,000 rupees rewarded if you join this workshop. Possible. And that's where you have to be careful. You have to look at the email IDs from which that email is coming. You have to maybe reach out to Shiva and confirm, Shiva, has your company started this offer? Can you please verify it for us? And those are the kind of steps that will actually help you safeguard yourself, right? Correct. So business email compromise, one of the biggest things that is happening. And since all of you are corporate employees, this could any day happen to any one of us. Fake emails from CEOs or vendors during non-office hours, unusual payment requests. Employees feel pressure to follow orders from bosses, right? Just your boss's email ID with some random email ID, right? Always verify. Just call up your boss. I'm sure you do understand what big things could happen because of this. Just look at these headlines. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, one of the big companies that we are aware of, loses 55 lakh after payment for fighter jets to a fake company. Some randomly fake company actually started, and they and he sent out an invoice to HAL and they paid it out. Mumbai company falls for email spoofing fraud, loses near 4 crore rupees, right? So once again, please be very careful. Similarly, tons of other scams, online shopping, ad frauds, women losing 12,000 over fake tickets. These days, a lot of concerts are happening and people are actually falling prey to such concert tickets. Advance fee and lottery scams. Somebody lost 9 lakh rupees to lottery. Again, there is no free money, guys. Nobody will ever pay you free money. FIR after ransomware corrupts and ad firm data, right? So random ransomware updates to the corporates when such sort of business email frauds happen. And those are the kind of frauds that could continue happening, right? Folks, useful? Can I have a quick round of thumbs ups if you find the session so far useful? Yes, no, love to hear it in the chat, so that we can then finally take you through the final round. Thank you. Perfect, right? So what do you do if you become a victim? Please follow these next few slides carefully, and then we're open to question and answers. What do you do if you have become a victim, right? It is possible to get your money back as well. The reason why I've put this image is we've seen a lot of negative news everywhere. There are few positive instances as well. Yes, they are less, and I hope the authorities are working their best to increase such instances, but some people have received their money back as well, right? So the first thing that you have to do is immediate steps. If anything of that happens, just like Gautam got a call from me and he gave me his OTP, the next thing that he has to do is immediately change his passwords. Right? Because a lot of time what happens is I could do multiple transactions using the same OTP or using the same password. If I have gone into his net banking, I could maybe, using that OTP, maybe 49,800 was the first transaction. I could do a lot more, right? So change your passwords or pins immediately. Uninstall any apps installed at the request of scammers. Block all linked apps, cards, UPI IDs, just like Khetarpal uncle also mentioned that he changed his phone number related to the bank accounts. Big step, great step, right? Preserve all emails, headers, and transaction records that might have come. Preserve all evidence, email headers, payments received, conversations that you can, right? So these are the immediate steps that you must. Now, where to report? Feel free to take a screenshot. Otherwise, we will definitely share these slides with you, and as well as a handbook that we've created, which will be super handy to you. Notify your bank's UPI wallet immediately, even if payment wasn't done. Forward your scam reports to report@phishing.gov.in. It's an official email. Government wants you to share such things so that they can be prepared further to fight such scamsters. Share scam link pages with the platform, whether it's Instagram, Facebook. Report and fraud, right? Report and block. Please use that feature. It could really help others a lot if something of that sort has happened to you, right? File an FIR to your local cyber police station. I know these days, again, as Ketapal uncle was mentioning, not many of them would be willing to take your complaints, but then you have to find out some way to have your complaint written, to have your FIR written, right? So National Cybercrime Portal and cert.in.org.in will share these as well for ransomware and extortion. And there is also 1930. You could save this number in your phones. 1930 is the official National Cyber Fraud Helpline, right? And further, if there are any money-related issues, do report to SEBI as well as RBI. For RBI and SEBI, the websites are given. We will share those links in the chat as well. Or you could call 14448, which is the helpline number for that, right? Additionally, in case of your business email compromise, something with your official email, inform your IT security team, notify the vendors or clients, and immediately notify your bank to freeze all transactions, all accounts, right? And yes, deepfake and AI-based frauds as well. Please do once again report wherever you see any influencer or any actor or any famous personality selling some or the other option to you. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook report option is there, and Google Ads and Meta Ads ad violating reporting tools is the option that is there in order to, you could click that. For any sort of loan fraud, you have to notify CIBIL, your lender from whom that loan is issued, and file an FIR as well, right? With that, I think we've covered what we had. We do have a quick quiz if you want to quickly play that, and then we can, or maybe let me finish, share some other things that I have, and then post that you can, we'll come back to the quiz. I hope I did not share all the answers while moving the slides. But yes, I know things like this could happen to everyone. And so with the help of, people like you and just like Mr. Khetarpal and Palak came forward, we've been able to try and help certain people by spreading this knowledge. And the way we do that, one of the ways that we do that is by creating a community. As they say, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. So tell me and I forget, we always tell each other, but we still forget. Teach me and I may remember, and that's what we've tried to do today. We've tried to teach you so that you are able to remember all of these things. Involve me and I learn, and that's what we've done. We've created an official Pennywise WhatsApp community. Be sure again that it is official. When you scan the QR, a page will open up wherein you will be able to join a community. Under that community, you will see several groups. One of the groups is also dedicated to fraud and scams SOS, along with investment products, credit cards, taxes, insurances, so on and so forth, right? So we have a long partnership with Ethica. I'm sure some of you have attended our previous workshops. Some of you will attend our future workshops as well. We are financial educators, and we teach personal finance concepts across topics, right from the basics of investing to, helping you with anything and everything related to money. So feel free to join this WhatsApp community. It's absolutely free to you. In fact, we keep doing a lot of workshops and activities as well. So, as part of this community, you will be able to get certain benefits, which you can be a part of, right? So feel free
Akshat, I'll quickly interrupt here.
Yeah.
I'm launching a poll for this session. So the poll can run in the background. People can answer all the questions while we go to the Q&A. Okay, is that
Sure.
okay?
Absolutely. Pretty much done as well. Yeah, we'd love to get your feedback. That's an important thing as well. And yeah, I think last thing that I wanted to share is we've recently started putting a lot of educative content on YouTube as well. So feel free to share, scan the QR and subscribe as well. It'll be by the name of Akshat Malhotra. We are trying our best to educate people on financial literacy without wanting anything in return. All we request is, like, share, subscribe, or comment if you really like what we are doing. But apart from that, there no monetary gains or nothing of that sort. All you want to do is educate you so that you can take the right decisions when it comes to your personal finances. Right. With that, I will now open up the forum to Q&A. Or Shiva, do you want to quickly share the LMS that you guys have in case people want to access that?
Yes, just let
And
me.
Akshat, we have Rupashri as well.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
So we can invite her as well.
Yes, absolutely, folks. That was another key thing. I'm so sorry I completely missed it. But Rupashri is we would love to welcome Rupashri. She is from Axis Bank, and what we would Rupashri, if you could unmute yourself and come up, and what she'll try to do is help you all understand what can be done in case some sort of a fraud ever happens. How scammers know our debit and credit details? So great question, Mr. Srinivas. As I said, right, so there are a lot of, so remember, there are certain websites where we would have sometimes gone and kind of put our credit card details and said save for later. Right? Now, unfortunately, some of those websites do not have a very strong security system. And since whenever, something of that sort happens, your data gets leaked whenever, a malicious
Hello?
attack is there. Yes, Rupashri ma'am. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yeah, hi Akshat. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so first of all, thanks to you and Gautam for this opportunity. So as a banker, I think I think Akshat, you have covered most of the topics pertaining to what kind of frauds are happening these days, especially, the digital arrest frauds and the phishing scams which are happening. Also, I think one thing which I probably did not see in your slides or I would have missed is the WhatsApp cloning frauds which are started these days. So I'm not too sure if you have thrown some light on that. I could actually, throw some light on it. So basically, here nowadays, what fraudsters are doing is they can even, clone a DP and copy your number and then send a message to whomever they want for the fund transfer. So, just to give an example, like if Gautam can send me a message and state that, Rupa, please transfer 50,000 to me. And, the DP and the number would exactly remain the same. So this is a new way of fraudsters doing scams these days. And I think a lot of people in our client fraternity have lost money because of this. So, hello.
Oh, yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Thank you so much for sharing that. So basically,
Yeah.
cloning a WhatsApp
Yes.
thing. Oh, I get it.
Huh. So this is, I think, a new way now of which fraudsters have devised, to extract money, because you usually will not happen to cross-check that if a close one is asking for money, you will randomly not call that person and ask, oh, he has asked me for money, I would just rather lend it, right? So without cross-checking any inputs or information, or I will never do a cross-check that did he really need the money or not.
Correct.
So that is, I think, one more way of now fraudsters doing scams. And, also the credit card frauds. I think I could, I would definitely want to throw some light on the credit card frauds which are happening.
Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. So I think in the credit card, I think whatever the frauds are happening, which we observe as a banker, is maximum the international frauds. The customers would have gone maybe a year or so back to some country, swiped a card, and, after a year, there will be transactions on the same credit card. Because what happens in international countries is that, most of the transactions are not PIN based. So you don't enter a PIN for doing any transactions. So they are not secure transactions. You just swipe your card and the transaction gets processed. And what happens? The card details get saved. Some random person keeps those
Basically,
details.
the two-factor authentication is not there.
Two-factor authentication is not there. And in abroad, you have a lot of places where there's no pins. The clients also feel it very convenient, right?
Yeah.
That you don't have to enter a pin, so you just do a swipe and your transaction gets over. But
Correct.
it is the most riskiest form of actually doing a transaction abroad, because you will not remember the merchant. After a year or so, you will see that a transaction has happened to the same merchant, or someone else has got your details. Your details have been compromised.
Yeah.
So that is, yeah.
Absolutely.
So what I would suggest, anyone who is in this call, I would, as a banker, definitely suggest that for any kind of a card transaction, whether it's a debit card or a credit card, now the banks have a facility of keeping your cards locked, as well as, you can set your manage limits. So in case, suppose you are not traveling abroad, I would advise that, keep those transaction limits off, because you're not going to be anyway using them, so that is one way of, protecting your cards from any kind of risks.
The international transactions option.
Yes, international transaction limits.
Yeah.
Also, like in our bank, we do have an option to keep the cards itself temporary locked. Whenever you want, you can just unlock it and do a transaction.
Absolutely.
So because maximum frauds which you observe even in the banking fraternity is the credit card frauds, or the credit card frauds. Besides now the surge in digital arrest cases.
Right. Sure.
And also in digital arrest, I would like to highlight that, whenever, please authenticate the requests which are coming to you, whether it's a form of a message, whether it's a caller, do not panic. So
Yeah.
I think people who are the fraudsters are just trying to extract our fear. They are playing on a fear factor that, as I think Uncle had rightly mentioned, although we are very salaried and we have been paying our tax on time, but there is an amount of fear in us. Oh, police official ne question kiya hai.
Sure.
So I think fraudsters are trying to do that. So I think I would just like to end by saying, be vigilant, report all your frauds to the bank. There's a call center which every bank has. Report your frauds, because banks do have an insurance policy also, which can help clients. So please report your frauds. It really helps the banks also, to control the fraud and, improvise on their fraud mechanisms as well.
Right. And ma'am, how often do you see that people are able to get their money back if they've reported it immediately, let's say within a few minutes, or within a short span of time?
So I'll tell you my one instance, in fact, where we had a client. She was a senior citizen in Mumbai, which was a digital arrest fraud again, and it was a large sum of money. So when we came to know, or when client obviously did not realize, because she was staying alone and her son was in US. But when we realized that she's got into something like this, what we did is, whatever the request were going, we tried to, connect with the beneficiary bank and stop those transactions, and alerted the beneficiary banks in turn that, frauds have happened. So these accounts need to be blocked. So definitely, I would say at this point, I think we could at least stop 2-3 lakhs, although the amount of fraud amount involved was quite huge, but at least 2-3 lakhs could be stopped. And also, yes, if you file it with the cybercrime, they in turn, put a hold on the amounts, they freeze those accounts. So reporting is a mandate, I have seen clients who have definitely, with the help of cybercrime, a very good instance of my client only, at least some 15-20 lakhs rupees is on hold now out of the whole quantum which was taken away.
Okay.
So yes, you need to report it. I think it's most important that we report the frauds, because it definitely, all the systems, understand what is happening. So it's definitely important to report a fraud.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you.
I think this is really helpful. I think I'm
Thank
sure people will, kind of take this more seriously as to how can they, report immediately and, take advantage of their bankers that are helping them. So thank you for sharing
Yes.
that.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, I think with that we've sorry, I got on mute. With that, I think we've kind of covered what we had. If people have some questions, anything that you'd like us to share, we'd love to know that. Courier service is another one. Yes. we should behave like our Sardar soldiers, respond during Galwan's skirmish. And absolutely, I think Mr. Khetarpal wants to say something. Uncle, feel free to mute yourself in case.
Am I audible now?
Yes, we can hear you.
No. So actually, I mentioned that if you remember the Galwan moment, though I didn't behave like the Sardarji, there were 20, 30 soldiers, Indian soldiers, and they were probably equal number of Chinese soldiers. But then look how these well-trained soldiers also, how were they behaving, Indian soldiers? We had virtually succumbed to the pressure of the Chinese. But for one Sardarji soldier who came and who started abusing, with the choices of the Ma Behan ki gali, and that brought, so somehow, if you see all those tough moments, the chivalry definitely, because what have one to lose? Tell me. If tomorrow, what the very first case where you were trying to trap your friend, under the pretext of that Dubai call or whatever, what had happened is this 47,000 here, 40 odd thousand rupees here transferred post verification of everything. What had happened if I had cut that call and I would have told to that guy, balls to you, get lost? Likewise, so we all get psyched. The matter of fact is that is the moment when we should become little more, try and, defy any such emotional blackmail and be with that. I think that should be our approach. And to my mind, that is what gradually you will see the way government is, because government has no other way. Government has now come out with a very clear, message or mandate. Say, look, we don't solicit, we don't ask you everything from our side. You don't expect, and we are worried only from these government agencies, because we pay taxes, we pay, or banks, all these institutions. If these institutions, if they empower us and they tell us only this is the way how we handle or how we deal, the rest all, I think the endeavor what you guys are doing, putting on this such a wonderful effort in educating everyone that how they should go about addressing this malice in the society. I think that's the way. But the main element is the guy who's under pressure at that moment. That moment, the first 30, 40 seconds are important, how he decides and how he, reacts. That's my input.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much once again for sharing that. I think this will certainly be very helpful for people. So yeah, folks, I think we're done with what we had. In case anyone wants to share something, either put it on the chat, or if you guys want to, come over.
Just one thing, Akshat, from my side. So, I was also getting, too many these fraud calls and all. So one day, when I got a call, so it was like this DHL ka fraud, some package courier and all. Then I told that person, boss, ये बहुत पुराना हो गया है. Bring something new. And that person was like, sir, अभी market में क्या चल रहा है? You only tell me, we'll do that.
Yeah, true. I mean, they're smart enough to, kind of look at what's the latest in the market and devise frauds accordingly. So
great. So I think with this, sorry, Gautam, you were saying something.
Yeah. So one more thing, Shiva, last thing. So
Please.
one thing I have noticed, when you continuously you get a call, right? And when you ignore that call, not ignore basically, when you identify, that it's a fraud, and then you disconnect the call or make them realize that you have identified that call. So you get stopped, you won't get those fraudster calls. I have, identified this as well, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and apps like Truecaller and all of these also help a lot in identifying these numbers.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I've started doing is, if there is any random number, I start blocking it immediately, right? So once the algorithm understands that so many numbers are blocked, in future onwards, it'll start, and a lot of phones have started showing, right? Scam call, probable scam. So do that. And in fact, thanks to people who've actually started putting names on Truecaller, ye banda fraud hai. right?
Yes,
You sometimes get those
I'm doing
calls.
whenever I block it.
You sometimes get those calls, ye banda fraud hai, right?
Yes.
So please do that whenever you can.
Absolutely. So that I think brings us to the end of this session. I'd like to thank Akshat, Gautam, Rajesh sir. We had other couple of guests also who came and shared their experiences. In order to help us understand what's happening and how can we be safe from all of these that are going on. So thank you so much, Akshat, Gautam, Rajesh sir, for sparing your time, for coming and teaching us all on, how can we be safe. And I would like to also take this opportunity to thank, all the participants who've, took out some time, came here to understand, how can they be safe? How can they safeguard their, hard-earned money and be updated on all that is happening. And with this, we'd like to, call it an evening. And we're coming up with another session next week called Me Time, which will help you prioritize time for yourself. That's something that, we all avoid. We all, give it a second thought or a third thought maybe. But we're just going to speak about me time and how can you prioritize, self also. So thanks everyone. Thank you so much for your time. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. Have a great evening as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you once again for having our team here. Thank you.